Welcome back to another Demo Differences video. This time we'll be looking through the more subtle and interesting changes featured in Deltarune's Survey Program demo. There aren't as many notable changes in this version of the game, but there are some that you hopefully don't know about yet. So strap in as we travel back to October 31st, 2018, the release of the first demo. When the original demo was first released, its installation process was a lot more cryptic and mysterious. When opening the installer, it states, "You accept everything that will happen from now on." Even after installing, the game never refers to itself as Deltarune, unless it's currently running. It's commonly known that Noelle's dialogue sprite was altered from the original demo, but did you know her overworld sprites were changed as well? It's most noticeable from her side profile, where she sports much longer buck teeth. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Another well-known difference is the door in the library. Library that takes you to the Dark World in Chapter 2. In Chapter 1, it's only one door, versus 2 in later versions. Currently in the full release, Chapter 1 uses the updated 2-door asset, but I believe in earlier versions of Chapter 1 and 2 demo, Chapter 1 used the single door and Chapter 2 used the double doors. I'm not certain on that, but I guess we'll put a pin in that. There are a lot of randomly misplaced pixels, one of the most noticeable being in the status menu. As you can see, there's a stray red pixel next to the TP text. There are some weird black pixels with odd layering near the entrance to the cemetery. Rule's card's background is littered with pink pixels that stick out like a sore thumb. These were changed to a light blue in later versions. In the light world, the item tab when pausing will never be grayed out, even without a single item in your inventory. During a battle, part of the overworld bled into the battle. I'm not sure if this is exclusive to this demo, but I wasn't able to replicate it in the current release. Susie's animation of her throwing her axe behind her and returning to her default overworld sprite looks a bit more jittery than in later versions. A couple of interactions in the Dark World menu lack proper sound effects, like scrolling between the different menu options. In the settings menu, instead of there being an option to return to title, there's only the option to end program, in line with the rest of the demo's survey program shtick. In the demo, Susie's crumpled paper reads as the $! Squad. When saving at that room's save point and in dialogue with Susie and Lancer later, your party is referred to as the $! Squad, with a large gap between the two words. I believe it's written as the $! Squad in the code, because on the Deltarune wiki it says that that's what the demo refers to it as when it just doesn't in-game. I believe this has also caused a misconception in the Deltarune community where people believe / remember it being this way. When being given the hot chocolate at the diner, originally it said Chris got the hot chocolate, whereas it was updated in the console port of Chapter 1 to say you got the hot chocolate, to match the rest of the other dialogue in-game. At the bake sale, all 3 stands request 40G for their items. This was changed in later versions to $40 since Deltarune uses dark dollars instead of gold. Silly Tony. Shout out to you Day 1 players for this one, but originally there were no shadow crystals in the game. Beating Jevil originally only gave one of his 2 equipable items. When Chapter 2 released, it took a few updates for Jevil to finally give you his shadow crystal. The Wrist Protector, which allows you to hold C to skim through text at lightning speeds, was originally only accessible by entering the Dark World within 8 minutes of starting a new save. In later versions, the ability to hold C to skip text boxes is on by default after reaching the Dark World for the first time. No matter what you do now, you can never obtain this item, meaning the wrist protector is lost media? And lastly, when you beat the game and finish the chapter credits, the game just closes itself. What a way to go out. I really appreciated all the differences I either forgot to include or simply didn't know in my last video, so as always, feel free to tell me any differences I may have missed. I plan on continuing this series with a video covering the chapters 1 and 2 demo differences, where I'll be going into a deep dive of all the version differences, since there are a ton, so subscribe if you're interested in seeing that. I was blown away by the amount of support and feedback I received on my last video, and for that I am so very grateful. I think I had like 9 subscribers when I posted that, so again, thank you all. Later, alligator.